Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I have something in my teeth. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura. This is Bailey. Say hi, Bailey. Say hi, Bailey. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. And today I wanted to give a bit of an update on our fertility situation. So I wasn't really sure how to explain where we are at this month, and then had something really awesome happen. So I have one of you lovely people, and I will just find your name right now. Elizabeth Raybold. I had you comment on one of my videos just saying about how I might want to look at the book Real Food for Fertility, which I will put on the screen right now. And also that I may want to speak to a naturopath. And something about this just really clicked for me. I had been to my fertility specialist appointment and it was very just kind of, okay, you're vaguely healthy, you're not smoking, you're not drinking, cool, we'll send you for these tests, call us when you've got the results, bye. And it was really a bit of a letdown because there is so much really great research out there talking about all of the different mechanisms and mechanics by which all of the things need to happen in our bodies for us to have good egg health and good sperm health. I hope you like the picture. I was like, look, it's an egg because I'm improving egg health, but also I'm eating more eggs. Anyway, there's a lot of really good research out there, but I am just one little person and it's really hard to sort through all of this information, and a lot of the time you don't know the efficacy of these studies. Yes, this was something that I was taught at university, to go through studies and to interrogate them and all of this, but it's like a full-time job. And already I would say, dealing with what's going on in my life right now, with my family situation, with something else that's in the works, with the unexplained infertility, and with my actual full-time job, it feels like it's enough. So I got this book and I booked an appointment with a naturopath. And that's what we're talking about today, because it is, I think, making really good progress. So the book Real Food for Fertility is written by two people who have done a lot of research and spent a lot of time looking at healthy foods for pregnancy and fertility overall. And the cool thing was that when we went to the naturopath appointment, it was one of the books that she had in her bag and she recommends to people, and was so excited to hear that we're already reading it, which is awesome. But from that, I have made a lot of changes to my diet. And the thing is that I was already eating like pretty healthy before, but I'm getting to that stage of the unexplained infertility where I'm kind of ready not to like do anything, but almost anything. I'm getting to the I'll do almost anything stage. And I'm trying to be constructive about it and not freak out about it, but I am going, okay, I'm a take charge person. I like having actions. I like having things to do. So changing my diet and then seeing how I feel, see how my periods go, see how my basal body temperature goes, all of that kind of stuff. It seems like, let's tick that box, let's try those things. So what that means is that for the first time in, I'd say about 10 years, I ate steak. So let me just summarize exactly why. I cannot fully summarize this book that I'm reading. A, because I'm only like a quarter of the way through it because it is hefty. I have it on my Kindle. The physical version that my naturopath had is like this thick. It's huge. YUGE. That's like a Bernie Sanders quote. I love me some Bernie Sanders. His accent's amazing. Anyway, it's a huge book, but what it is summarizing is a lot of the chemical stuff. And again, I studied chemical engineering, so I feel like I kind of take it on board a lot. You okay there, bud? You tired? You having a tough day? Thank you. Is around how all of the precursors for all of these things get into our body, how certain things get prioritized over other things, like precursors for progesterone, also precursors for cortisol, and how it will prioritize the cortisol over the progesterone. And I have had some issues with having low progesterone in cycles, all of this. So what it means now is that I'm changing my diet by trying to remove processed carbs where possible, which is in the form of probably all pasta. I might still do homemade pasta, but then I know that there's no preservatives and stuff in that, and I'll try use whole grain flour. I have some stone ground wholemeal flour that I got, which is awesome, but I might just be avoiding that generally. White rice, I've gone back to brown rice, used to do brown rice, we are back there, and I'm not having that much of that. I'm having other complex carbs like quinoa and root vegetables and legumes and all of that. I'm also trying to remove sugar as much as possible. I can be quite a sweet tooth person, but I have been finding that better. And then it's prioritizing a lot of good fats and good proteins. Now, as someone who has done like vegan recipes on here and is literally writing a vegan recipe book, I still stand by that. There are a lot of people who have particularly dairy allergies, but also egg allergies. And I think that that's totally valid. And a lot of the foods that I'm cooking, this is going to sound super weird, but it's like the base of the meal is all vegan. Like the sauces, the binders, the components of the salad or of the roast veggies or whatever is vegan, and then I am selectively including animal products where I can see really good evidence for the benefit of them for fertility. So it's like I make up the refried beans and have all of the stuff to do like a vegan quesadilla, and then, or like a vegan burrito, sorry. It's like a big burrito. I don't know, I always say quesadilla, but a vegan burrito, and then I am selectively choosing to add egg that has been cooked in butter to that. The butter for the good fats and the fact that it doesn't, what's the word? It's not, is it oxidization? Anyway, it doesn't break down into the fats that we don't like the olive oil that I have does. So I'm selectively choosing to do that. And then the good fats in the eggs are really, really good for my egg health. And so it's like the base of it is vegan. Even the chipotle mayo is vegan because that's just what we have in the house. And I'm selectively adding animal product to it where it is going to benefit my health. So I'm not just going out and eating McDonald's. I'm not just having sausage rolls. I'm not just having KFC. That's sort of another thing. Sorry, I started talking about specifics and I just talked about the whole diet. But anyway, so to go back, it was trying to reduce the refined carbs, the fried foods, because they're fried in oils that have then degraded and all of that. So trying to move away from the fried foods. Yeah, and just lots of good fats and proteins. I'm not sure. I'm still getting my brain around this, so it's a little bit hard to actually explain to other people. So if I'm not making that much sense, I apologize. But it's really trying to focus on that. And I've only been doing this for a few weeks now. I also made bone broth, and I'm trying to include that in meals where I can. I made like a gravy with it the other day to include with some like roast veggies and some steak. And yeah, it's again still the same vibe as to what a lot of my meals were, but with animal products included. My husband is still not eating any animal products. He would need a lot of convincing to change that. He is open to being convinced to change that, but wants to have more information because at the moment it's still pretty unexplained as to why we're experiencing the infertility. And I think that if we could have something more solid showing that it is this particular factor related to him, and that the research shows that in order to improve that, you need to focus on all of these, which you can't get from plants and you need to get from animals, whatever. He would need to have very solid evidence to change that. And we are working on getting that evidence. So that's the other thing that's kind of come from this whole naturopath thing, is that we're going to get the really, I say really expensive, it's like $500, test done for my husband to see what's going on. You okay, buddy? You stretching? You a stretchy boy? Are you a stretchy boy? Good boy. To see what's going on with his sperm health and all of that. So that will be good. I am going for my water-based HSG tomorrow, which is a, hold on, I'll get you the medical term, because I know you're just you're just dying to know what it is, aren't you? Water-based HSG is a hysterosalpingogram. Hysterosalpingogram. Okay, if anyone wants that explained to them, they stick a tube up there, and then through the tube they put water with dye into your whole system with the ute and then the tubes and everything. I'm calling it a ute now. I'm giving my friends updates on my ute. It's funny because in New Zealand, a truck, like a flatbed truck, that like builders and stuff would use. It's called a utility vehicle, which is shortened to ute. So anyway, this is my ute. So then they do an x-ray to see, cool, can we see that there's like, it can all get into the ute and then into the tubes. It's essentially checking like, are the tubes blocked? That's kind of the main purpose of it. And then I also need to book in for a pelvic ultrasound where they stick more stuff in there to look around and see what's going on. It's lovely being a person who is assigned female at birth going to the doctor because they're like, oh, something might be wrong in your abdomen. So yeah, that's super fun. So that is kind of where we're at. Obviously, I didn't say it at the beginning, but obviously we are not pregnant this month. I've just had my period. I had to take a pregnancy test a little bit before that because long dumb story short, I was playing with Bailey here and he got confused where my finger was and he likes to pop the bubbles in the bubble wrap, you know, and he does that with his teeth and he accidentally moved it over my finger and so I got a little cut there. So I had to take antibiotics for that to make sure that didn't get infected. And the ones that they wanted to give me are not good to have when you're pregnant. So they wanted to check if I was pregnant. So I had to do a test at the doctor's and then they're just like, cool, so you're not pregnant. So let's get this done, blah, 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 blah. Because they didn't know that we're dealing with this infertility thing. So I was like trying not to cry and they're just like, just carrying on. So anyway, so that's where we're at. Mentally, where are we at? It's getting to the point now, like, where are we at? 16 months in, where I'm not nearly as affected by stuff. I think that it's like when you're a veteran at these things, and that kind of feels like I am now. It's like when you're a veteran nurse or a veteran doctor or a veteran, I don't know. You become desensitized to stuff. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm not feeling nearly as sad, or I'm not feeling anything sometimes when I see other people's like baby announcements on Facebook or pregnancy announcements or whatever. It just feels like that's how it is, which is a little bit sad because it is me genuinely just feeling like, oh, that's just how life is. I just don't have a baby and everyone else does. It's not a fun place to be. I'll say that much. It's not a fun time, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I think as sad as that is, I think I just kind of have to accept that and know that when you have something that's unexplained and you can't do anything except do the appointments you've been told to do and wait, yeah, you kind of become a bit numb to it and you just get used to carrying on. So that's where I'm at with that. Timeline-wise, yeah, so I have one test tomorrow. I need to book another test, and that will probably be a few weeks before I can get in for that. We'll see. The effect of the diet, I will update you guys on that, but there is some promising stuff already, I would say. Which is that I am feeling less hungry on this diet, and I'm feeling less like I'm craving carbs and sugar. I just feel like I'm able to eat my meals and then carry on and not be bothered by getting hungry before my next meal, which is interesting. It could just be where I'm at in my cycle because it's only been a couple of weeks, but yeah, that's really how I've been feeling. It's been a lot easier to just eat my meal and carry on and then have another one. Up until this point, I've always been a snacky person. I've always felt like I kind of want to be eating micro meals as I go. And with this, I'm eating my meal and they're not huge or anything, but then I'm feeling fine. The other thing is, I've mentioned this in previous videos and in my video about how I am taking sertraline for a generalized anxiety disorder. But with the sertraline and also just generally with some stuff that was happening in my life, my husband was away for work for like 6 months and it was through a really difficult time, and I think that like emotionally that was just really hard for me. It's then meant that my libido is lower, and it is maybe partly an emotional thing, but also partly like definitely a medication thing and I explain this in my video in more detail on the sertraline thing. Please look at it if you want to sort of hear more about that. But my brain's interested and my body is just like crickets, just doesn't respond, which then just creates this kind of weird dynamic, particularly when you are trying to conceive, because you need to be doing it like pretty regularly. So what I have noticed in the last few weeks is that my libido is improving. And for any of the vegans out there watching, I know it sounds super gross because it's like, yay, I'm eating animals and now I want to do it more. It's very weird. I'm not saying it's how I want to carry on, but for when you are needing to do it pretty regularly to try and have a baby, it's very helpful when your brain and your body just all kind of work together better and are more interested in that whole thing. It's just very helpful. And so that's sort of the first two like immediate things that I've noticed. I'm less hungry and yeah, libido is improving, which is helpful. And that's a good sign overall. So only time will tell if it actually helps. Only time and a baby will tell if it actually helps for the whole fertility situation. But again, to my friend whose name I forget again, I'm terrible at names. To my friend Elizabeth, thank you so much for your recommendation. I really appreciate it because I've been trying to do all of this research myself and finding a book that can bring it all together, that has all of its references cited, so I can also go back and check those references and actually read the studies myself for any particular studies that I do want to dive deeper into and more fully understand how they came to those conclusions. It is really awesome, and I feel a lot more like I have a trained health professional actually looking closely at everything we're doing to see what can be tweaked and improved here and there to help us have a baby within this naturopath, rather than the fertility doctors who are on much shorter time frames and all of that. Yeah, it's just awesome. So I would say if you're also on this fertility journey and you're feeling like you need some more support, maybe look out for slightly alternative sources, still with qualified people, but yeah, if you're not getting that from your like government funded fertility advisor, if you have any friends who are in the medical industry or who are midwives or doulas or dietitians or anyone else who you can talk to and try get some help on this, and maybe they can advise you on someone who would be really helpful, that would be cool. The place that we are going to is a specific like mother's wellness center, and it's within that. So maybe if you've got something around like mother's holistic wellness near to you, at least if you give them a phone call and sort of outline your situation and ask if they think that you could help, that might be really helpful for you. So there's kids running around outside. Alrighty, take care guys. I will see you soon. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.